Okay, we're here at the eastern edge of the Beaver Pond Natural Area, looking up the road, up the easement trail to the road. Coming here to the entrance, looking at the new kiosk that they put up. I don't know how well this map will show up. I can put a map in the corner, but we're right here. And we're going to be going on the Sweetwater Trail up to Leo's Loop. Now, I think I know where this loop goes. It's undefined. It's kind of an undefined trail. It goes out pretty strongly this way and then stops at the edge of a bog, basically, that was underwater the last time I tried it. This road here is there. It's not very well cleared, and they have conservation restrictions here, so they can't do clearing apparently. But there is a mystery trail which I think goes out here and I think connects up to the Sawyer Hill Trail, and perhaps that's actually Leo's Loop, but we'll find out today. So get started. First thing we're going to do is cross the Mascoma River on the bridge. And they've got all these rocks here in an S shape. To keep motorized vehicles out. So a nice wooden bridge. Gives a nice view of the river here and along marshy area. And then we look at the other side. Can't tell if that's beaver there had done that, or if it's just snagged up. There are some beaver, a little more obvious further up on another branch of the river, but we'll see that when we get there. Probably going to go into fast mode from here on out until we get to something interesting. So here's the intersection, or an intersection with what I believe is an unofficial path. This way heads up to the Mascoma State Forest, and I haven't been too far along there. I went up, there's a big kind of a sand pit area. It's all flat. I think they got sand out of it at one point, and then now it's part of the state forest. But it doesn't seem to be any place to park over that way. At least looking at Google Maps. So I haven't tried farther. That'll be a different expedition. So this is going to the left here is where you take the Sweetwater Trail. So you can see some beaver activity, I think. It looks like they've been stripping the bark from this tree. This is a nice new bridge along here. Saw all the lumber out by the kiosk. Apparently been busy. I think it was fine when I was here a couple years ago, but it was pretty old. And that's beaver, I'm sure. Beaver dam making a nice little pond. Looking around, see if there's a lodge. Oh, if that could be it. But it's probably further upstream. But I can't see anything else other than that, with an eyesight anyway. Got some frogs chirping. It's kind of nice. Oh, look, there's a turtle. I don't know if that used to be a foundation or if it's just a sinkhole. This whole area was farmed at one point, and there you can see that there are a bunch of roads going through the area. Not really, well, the far side it looks like there might be rocks stacked up. It's hard to say. Swallowtail butterfly. Alright, so we're at the intersection with what I believe is Leo's Loop and Sweetwater Trail. That's interesting. It kind of indicates that, at least in the trail markers here, it's like you're coming down this way and then turning to go out to the road. And I've been on both these trails. This continues on for a ways and then gets down to a swampy area unless they've cleaned it out. And I say that because this was, oh, and they even got sign markers here. Huh. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Last time I was here, they didn't have sign markers. And this was all overgrown. You couldn't see anything. Okay, tick break is over. Had about a dozen on me, which is unusual. Don't usually pick up too many while I'm hiking. I guess it's maybe a little overgrown. But anyway, we're going up the trail. Not sure if this is part of Leo's Loop or part of the end of the Sweetwater Trail, but there are markings here which were not here a couple of years ago. A couple years ago it was very overgrown, and there were ribbons, but there were a lot of snags and trees down across the trail. And you can see it's a kind of a well-worn path here. So we'll see what happens. See if they've improved it. They do have limitations on what they can do in this property, part of the conservation easement, but we will see. Okay, so we're at the intersection of Leo's Loop and Sawyer Hill Trail. Looking back down the Leo's Loop, comes up. Sawyer Hill Trail goes this way. I have a trail, or I thought I had a trail map on my phone, but I couldn't find it. But I'll bring up the map of the trails here. So this is where the trail goes by Horseshoe Pond. Doesn't look like much of a pond, does it? But you can sort of see there's like one end of the horseshoe here, comes around, and then there's the other end of the horseshoe over there. And there is a little water in that section. You can go a ways further than this, but it's probably not really worth it. Comes out on a private road, which I ended up when I came here once before, and I had no idea where I was because the private road didn't show up on the map. I'm like, well, I'm just going to follow. I mean, I could turn around and go back, but I have no idea if I really am where I think I am. So I continued on the dirt road and then passed a gate which said it was a private road. And like, oh well. I'm a little too far gone now to worry about it. So I continued along and eventually came out to Route 4 and then walked back to the car at the end of the Sweetwater Trail, which was about 3 miles, I think, 3.5. You can see that right here, there's a kind of a swampy stream comes through and goes out into this swampy meadow and meanders along and finally comes out to the little body of water over there. Now if excuse me, I keep saying Bob, I mean Leo's Loop. If Leo's Loop actually exists, the trail would be back here. And I think that's where it is, but I haven't seen anything at this end. And when I tried going the other way, circling it clockwise, I ended up in a swampy area that was underwater. So I had to turn around. Might be possible to do it in the wintertime, but I'm not positive that the entrance to the parking area. Okay, the GoPro battery died right there. So I took a tick break and picked 7 off. Squished them. So, as I was saying, I think I was saying, if the Bob loops, or excuse me, I keep saying Bob, Leo's Loop is really there, I would think that it would come off and skirt the pond this way, but there doesn't seem to be any clearing here, or much of any clearing. And there are some down trees right there. Which could be a trail on the other side of it. It's also possible that Leo's Loop actually goes up much further north. and the trail that I was on. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what that is, but there's a loop here with metal. You can see my finger sticking through it. There's a hole here. It's pretty secure. Really battened down there. There's one at either end, actually. There's another one right here. And a bunch of rocks piled up. I don't know. I don't know what that would have been for. I mean, those could be like ties of some sort. You know, like there's maybe a tower here and attached with cables. Okay, we're back at the end of one branch of Leo's Loop. I'm going to continue up the path here, at least to the end of the Sawyer Hill Trail. There's an interesting cliff that I'd like to show you. So both sides of this trail, which is an old road, you can tell, is lined with stone walls. It's broken in a couple places. On the west side of the natural area, there are a couple obvious stone foundations that you can see that are almost on the trail, just a little bit off. I don't know what the policy is for metal detecting, but I'm pretty sure they don't allow it. Oh, there's a marker. I think that's the first one I've seen. So I do know, I can tell by the map that the trail goes up here a ways. And I said there's a sign that says no motorized vehicles and so forth, which I'm pretty sure is the start of the preserve. So I think this is the end of the Beaver Pond natural area. The trail does continue up, but I think it's private property, although it's not posted, at least at this point. Oh, I forgot I was going to show you this cliff. Can't tell if this has been worked or not. You know, whether people pried blocks off to build something. But it's kind of neat. It's just off the side of the trail.